basically triggered all of these other thunderstorms, just instability across much of the area. I want to take a zoomed in look so I can show you exactly where that severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. First of all, it has been extended till 11:30 a.m. and it's for northeastern portions of Palm Beach, also southeastern portions of Palm Beach and northeastern portions of Broward County. That goes as far west as the Sawgrass Expressway and Coral Springs, all along the Turnpike 441, 95, and as far east as Coconut Creek and also down into Deerfield Beach. So remember, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:30. Tornado not confirmed just yet.
All right, Erica, thank you so much. We've got Sergeant Mark Wysocki from FHB on the phone with us right now. Sergeant, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, give us a good idea of what you were hearing initially when all of this started. What did the initial reports sound like in terms of this? You know, I guess at this point we can call it a wind event that flipped over these vehicles and also impacted Broward College North Campus. But give me an idea of the initial reports that you heard when all of this first started.
Well, I think the initial reports were we had a box truck that overturned, and we had several other vehicles involved, along with a tree down crossing the ramp at the southbound exit to Coconut Creek Parkway. We have been able to determine that we had 2 crashes on the northbound side and 4 crashes on the southbound side, of which one of the vehicles that was traveling south flipped over and ended up on the northbound side of the roadway. Very fortunate that we had just 1 minor injury from what I understand as of right now.
All right, and Sergeant, just to reiterate this very quickly, we were talking to from the Public Information Officer for Broward Fire and Rescue, and he said that all of these events, which I think is interesting, which I think is going to lead us, it's sounding like anyway to the possibility of this being an EF1 tornado, is that all of these crashes that you just told us about, the 2 on the north side, the 4 on the south side, everything was independent from each other. Nobody crashed here. These were accidents related to the wind, but each vehicle, it has its own story. None of them were in any way connected.
That's correct. I don't believe any of them actually struck each other. I think they were all single vehicle crashes as of I know right now. And I just arrived on the scene here, and as soon as I'm able to get more information, I'll get it out.
Sergeant Wysocki, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll let you get back to work. We do have Chief Meteorologist John Morales on the phone again. John, can you hear us?
And I heard your entire line of questions. You may want to ask them again so the public, the audience can understand the content.
Well, basically, the National Weather Service is calling this an apparent tornado. You saw this and you said, look, this looks like an EF1. Drive the point home for folks why we're not quick to call this a tornado and what needs to happen.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, you look at these images as you look at this video on air, and when we were actually looking at the event on weather radar, you can see the rotation and the thunderstorm. I mean, all signs point to a tornado having touched down in Broward County. I mean, let's be clear about that. However, confirmation will not happen until the National Weather Service sends a survey team to those locations and looks at the pattern of the damage and tries to ascertain whether the winds were straight line winds, as in coming down straight from a thunderstorm and all blowing in the same direction, or whether there was rotating winds caused by an apparent tornado that might have touched down in that area. And they'll be able to tell that from the debris field. They'll look at the trees to see if they're pointing in different directions once they were felled. And they'll also try to estimate the wind velocity that might have caused some of the damage by looking at perhaps some of those damaged rooftops that we've seen in some of these apartment complexes that I saw some video on air earlier, perhaps looking at how the cars are stacked up. In other words, they will forensically determine what the wind was based on the damage that was observed. So the survey team will not only attempt to confirm that a tornado occurred, but they'll also attempt to give it an intensity, whether it was an EF0, EF1, or EF2. Just very, very preliminarily, I mean, I'm obviously not on site. I'm looking at pictures on the Twitter feed. I'm looking at video on TV. And I'm just looking at it very superficially or preliminarily. It looks like it was not as weak as an EF0, but it definitely looks like it was not as strong as an EF2. So based on that, I would say it's more than likely an EF1. we'll wait for the survey team to head out there from the meteorologists at the National Weather Service who have been doing backup jobs this morning.
All right, Chief Meteorologist John Morales on the phone with us right now. John, thank you so much for your expertise, and we'll be checking in with you again in another couple of minutes. But again, we do want to tell you that we do have a live reporter on the scene at Broward College North, where a big part of the damage has taken place, and on the interstate just adjacent to that college campus. We'll be talking with that reporter live in 2 minutes. Right on the other side of this break, we continue our severe storm coverage, and you can always follow us using the NBC6 News and Weather app. We're back in 2 minutes.